Happy Halloween, although I believe that I am a little bit late. I believe I'm one day late because I made a mistake with my recording schedule, but it has just been Halloween anyway, and today I'm going to teach you guys how to turn your nightmares into lucid dreams. Before we get started on nightmares though, I'd just like to remind you guys that this video is sponsored by you guys. If you want a guide to help you take your lucid dreaming to the next level, or if you just want to support what I do here with making these videos, then check out the Lucid Dream book, link in the top right hand corner or down in the description below. Anyway, nightmares. When you think about it, nightmares are kind of surreal. Like the fact that just every person in the world has at some point gone to sleep and been terrorized by all sorts of weird things happening in their dreams. It's just kind of strange to me. It is such a weird experience to be so universal for everyone to have had. Yeah, I close my eyes at night and suddenly I have terrifying things chasing me and I wake up in a cold sweat. Why oh why, of all the things that life could choose to give us as a universal experience everyone experiences, did it have to be something as unpleasant as nightmares? But so we all experience them, what can you do? Well, today I want to actually suggest that you can turn those nightmares into lucid dreams. If you've been around here a while, you'll know that I've already said this before, but today I actually want to give you guys a step-by-step guide on how you can do that. For step one, you need a bit of paper and a pen or pencil, or just notepad on your PC or a notes app on your phone or whatever, someplace where you can write things down. And I want you to think back over some of the nightmares that you've had, and I want you to try and write a few down. Now, it doesn't have to be in a lot of detail. You can just write, got chased by a zombie, or whatever, just one sentence describing what happened in the dream. You also can write down as few or as many nightmares as you like. What I would suggest though is if you tend to have a lot of different nightmares, then at least write down say 3 or 4 different ones. And if you only have like one nightmare that just keeps repeating, then write that one down but put it down in a bit more detail. The reason for this process is going to become apparent in a moment. Basically, we're going to be looking at these nightmares and trying to figure out, is there any way that we could turn these into lucid dreams? Now the next step is going to be for people that have written down multiple different nightmares. I want you to look over all of them and think about what links them together, if anything. Is it that you're always being chased? Is there a particular emotion every time? Is there something that you tend to be doing? A particular place you're at, or a particular dream character that keeps appearing? Write down if there is any sort of connection between 2 or more of your dreams. Now, if you've only written down one dream, chances are you've written down that one dream because that is a recurring dream that you've had. So for you, the pattern that keeps repeating itself is the dream itself. Now don't worry if you can't find anything in common between your different nightmares, because there is one thing that they do all have in common with each other, and that is the fact that they all scare you. So now I want you to take one of these things that links them all together, whether it just be the fact that they scare you, whether it be the fact that maybe you're being chased in all of your dreams, or all of these nightmares are set in a particular location. Whatever it is, I want you to tell yourself right now that when you encounter this thing again, you are going to realize you are in a dream. When you see this thing again, you are going to know I am dreaming and you are going to become lucid. Now, here's going to be the slightly trickier part. I want you to go over those bad dreams that you have written down. And I want you to one by one go through them in their entirety. And I want you to think, at what point in this dream would I notice that, hey, this is a nightmare, and in fact become lucid? Think about what moment would be the realization for you. Where would you notice that, hey, this is that pattern that I recognized? Or where would you notice that, hey, I'm afraid and this is an abnormal level of fear that I'm not used to experiencing. This is probably a nightmare. Think about at what moment in each of those dreams that you've written down you would have that realization if you actually did. And I want you to actually write out the dream again. I know, this is going to be a little bit annoying, but I want you to write out the dream again, but with that realization happening. Put down that you realized at this moment that this was in fact a nightmare and you became lucid. You can end the entry there, or if you like, you can even write about what you would perhaps do after becoming lucid to sort of inspire yourself a little bit. And again, these don't have to be long entries. You can just write down, was being chased by a zombie, realized that I always get chased in my nightmares, suddenly became lucid. And your entry for each dream could be something short and simple like that. Next, I want you to sit down and just visualize yourself going through that dream again, but this time having that realization. Actually have that moment where you're looking around you in the dream and you realize something is off. You notice that recurring theme that you have in your nightmares, and you say to yourself, this is a dream. Maybe you imagine yourself doing a reality check as well, just to confirm, but you realize that you are in fact dreaming and you become lucid. Imagine yourself experiencing this dream step by step and having that realization. And then from there, do actually imagine yourself engaging in that now lucid dream. What would you do after you get lucid? What's your plan? What are you actually going to do? Are you going to start flying around? Are you going to start, spawning a sports car and driving down the road? Think about what you want to do and imagine yourself actually going through those steps. And I want you to do that for each of the dreams that you've written down. Look at the now edited version where you have the realization and you get lucid, and actually play that out in your mind, experience it in your mind from start to finish. And then after you get lucid, live out that lucid dream in your mind for a little bit. Imagine the things that you would actually do. You can think of this like a little rehearsal or training exercise to prepare you for when you have a similar experience in future in one of your next nightmares. The last thing that I want you to do is, based on the nightmares that you've written down, I want you to come up with a new nightmare that you have not yet had. I know that sounds weird, but we're basically rehearsing here again. So I want you to think of a fictional scenario of a way that you could have a nightmare that you haven't yet had. So again, if you have lots of nightmares of being chased, imagine yourself being chased by something, but something new that you haven't been chased by before. And then once again in your head, play out experiencing that nightmare, but this time you catch it. You have that realization and you realize that this is a nightmare and you can take control and you can make the monster go away. You can spawn that sports car and you can start driving off and you can have that awesome lucid dream. Now that's it, that's all of the steps. There is one more thing that you could do, which is to repeat this process as you have any new nightmares. If you have any new nightmares, go through this process again of writing them down, but then writing down an edited version where you actually have a realization that you're dreaming, and then actually playing that out in your mind's eye, imagining yourself going through that. Before we finish, I'd love to hear from you guys. What nightmares have you had recently, and have you spotted any themes in them already as you've been going through this video? Let me know down in the comments below. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you want more videos like this one, make sure you subscribe and enable all notifications so you can stay up to date when new videos come out. And if you want to keep watching, check out one of the videos on screen, go watch that, and I'll see you there soon. Take care and have some awesome lucid dreams.